Good morning. Today we're going to be using multiplication to convert measurements. Let's start with guided learning number 1. We're starting with 1 week and converting to days. So I know that in 1 week there are 7 days. I can use this information to figure out how many days there are in 2 weeks. So let's see. If there's 7 days in 1 week, I know that I can multiply 1 times 2 to get to 2 weeks, which is what I have in problem B. So I need to multiply 7 times 2 to get to 14 days. So my answer is 14. I'm going to do the same thing here. If I have 1 week, is it the same as having 7 days? Let's see. If I want to find out how many days there are in 5 weeks, 1 times 5 gets us to 5 weeks. So that means I need to multiply 7 times 5, which is 35 days. 1 hour, I know, is the same as 60 minutes. I'm going to use this information to help me solve for 2 hours. If 1 hour equals 60 minutes, I know that 2 hours, let's see, 1 times 2 gets us our 2 hours, so I need to multiply 2 times 60. Sorry, I shouldn't be there. 60 times 2, well, I know 6 times 2 is 12, so 60 times 2 is 120. 4 hours, I want to figure out how many minutes that is. So I'm going to start with my 1 hour equaling 60 minutes. If I want to find for 4 hours, let's see. 1 times 4 is 4. So 6 times 4, well, I know 6 times 4 is 24. So 60 times 4 is 240. If you don't know how to do this yet, if that's confusing, that's okay. I'm going to teach you 2 more focus strategies in just a minute. So take a look here. It's okay if you don't understand. We just have 2 more guided learnings. The first strategy I'm going to teach you is going to be making a table. So I'm going to straighten that out. There we go. All right. So we're going to start with 1 500 meters to figure out how many centimeters that is. We're going to make a table, which is going to look like this. On my left side, I'm going to write the measurement that I'm starting with, which is meters. And then on my right side, I'm going to write down the measurement that I'm converting to, so centimeters. So let's see. For every 1 meter, so we're always starting with 1. Every 1 meter, I know that there's 100 centimeters. To get from 1 to 100, I know that I multiplied by 100. Sorry, it's a bad error, but this is multiplied by 100. So now I'm going to look to see what the number I actually am starting with, which is 1 500. And then same thing, I'm doing 1 500 times 100. I know whenever I'm multiplying by 100 and I'm converting between metric conversions, I can just move each digit the number of places necessary. So in 100, I'm moving each digit to the left 2 places. So the 1, which is in the ones place, is going to move to the left 2 places, which puts it in the hundreds place. The 0 right now is in the tenths place. 2 places to the left is the tens place. And the 5, which is in the hundreds place right now, 2 places to the left would be the ones place. So my answer is 105 centimeters. Let's try the same thing over here, but this time we're going to use 3 4/10 centimeters. I'm going to start by writing my table. The measurement I'm starting with is going on the left, meters. The measurement I'm converting to is going to the right, centimeters. I always start with 1 to figure out how many centimeters are needed for 1 meter. So in 1 meter, I know I need 100 centimeters. To get from 1 meter to centimeters, I have to multiply by 100. So let's see. Now I'm going to try with just 3 because I don't want to jump to, I can jump to 3 4/10. But I'm going to break it down just a little bit more. So if I had 3 meters, well, 3 times 100 is 300. So if I had 3 4/10 meters, I'm doing 3 4/10 times 100. Well, 3 4/10 is a little bit bigger than 3, so I know my answer is going to be a little bit bigger than 300. My 3 right now is in the ones place. I'm multiplying by 100, so I'm moving each digit to the left 2 places. The 3 goes from the ones place to the hundreds place. The 4 goes from the tenths place to the tens place. And right now there's 0 hundredths, so that means that 0 hundredths times 100, the 0 is going to go in the ones place. My answer is 340 centimeters. Now let's try it with grams. So here, I'm going to start by making my table. We're starting with kilograms, and we're converting to grams. Let's see, if I had 1 kilogram, I know that that's the same as having 1,000 grams. So I need to multiply every kilogram by 1,000 to figure out how many grams that is. Now I'm going to see for 2 kilograms. 2 times 1,000 is 2,000. Finally, I'm going to have 2 1600 kilograms multiplied by 1,000, which means I'm moving each digit to the left 3 places. The 2 right now is in the ones place. I'm going to multiply by 1,000, putting the 2 in the thousands place. The 1 is in the tenths place. Multiply by 1,000 to move the digit 3 places to the left. The 1 is now in the hundreds place. The 6 is right now in the hundredths place. We're going to multiply by 1,000, moving it 3 places to the left. The 6 goes in the tens place. And there's a 0 in the thousands place, so we need to put a 0 in the ones place. My answer is 2,160. I also like breaking it down and including the 2 instead of just jumping to 2 1600 right away, because this helps me see if I'm right. If I accidentally left that 0 off and thought my answer was 216, well, I'd be able to use my reasonableness to realize that 2,000 is bigger than 216, but 2 1600 is bigger than 2, so I know that I made an error, which is one other reason I like to do it, break it down each step. We're going to do one more. We're going to do kilograms to grams. We're going to start with 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. So we need to multiply 1 kilogram by 1,000. Now I'm going to go to 5 kilograms. 5 times 1,000 is 5,000. So now I'm going to use my number that I'm starting with, which is 5 1200ths. And so I know my answer is going to be close to 5,000, but a little bit greater. 5 1200ths times 1,000, I'm multiplying by 1,000. So each digit moves to the left 3 places. 5 goes to the thousands place. The 1 goes to the hundreds. I keep messing up this morning. 2 goes to the tens. And that puts a 0 in the ones place. So our answer is 5,120. This can work even if it wasn't with metric conversions. I know each of these were metric, but if you were going from feet to inches, you would do the same thing. You would just be multiplying by 12. If you're going from yards to feet, you'd be multiplying by 3. So this works for other things other than metric conversions.